Hey everyone, it's time to go over episode 3 of Boonboomger. So far, so good. I'm really enjoying the show, how it's going, the pacing. I like the balance because, over the first two episodes, we got some seeds planted and now we're still watering those seeds. I do like the balance with the humor in this one. I mean, yeah, with the vacuum monster last week, you can make a lot of sucking jokes, but this time around with the clock and just everything else going on, especially with, Ishiro and his thoughts towards Mira still, uh, you know, and and Taya still having hope in her, thinking that she's, got all this potential. I will say, one of the cool things in the beginning of this episode is once again, we still, Taya still mentions his dream. Even Bunderis, Boone, freaking mentions, they're getting one step closer. I thought it was really cool. They had a whole maintenance like bay with robot, like the mechanical arms like you would see at like a car building facility, factory. Wow, I didn't even know what that word was for a second. And he's working on the Boom Boom Classic. So I'm in my head, and that's when they mentioned the dream. And I'm in my head, I'm like, okay, so they're like either modifying vehicles and upgrading them to work, or they're creating them from the ground up. I want to know more about that actually, because that's pretty cool. Because we see, even in the first three episodes, as well as in the toys, there's a lot of vehicles. It's not just one for each person. And I was curious, like, oh, with the Boom Classic, I was like, I wonder what kind of how this is going to come into play. The whole overall arc of this episode is Mira takes on her own uh, gig to deliver a package because she has a day job at what I assume is like a sweets candy type shop, and the son of the boss or coworker made a mirror for his grandmother, and she got caught up in the moment. She's delivering it. The cool thing about this is, the dynamic of the team and their package delivery service is Taya's not going to help her, and it's kind of like a test. He's like, you took the gig, you got to deliver it. Um, and because she wants the car, he's like, no car, this and that. And I was like, you know what, that's actually really cool. I think that it's one of those things where, you know, she's a part of the team. We have Ishiro who doesn't trust her. Taya has all this faith in her and is kind of like, okay, let's see what she can do. Genba is one of my favorite characters, and I'm glad we got more screen time and him talking. I don't even know anything about him other than he's from procurement, so he just obtains things. Other than that, I'm like, I have known nothing about him. And he gives her a bicycle. And I'm like, that is cool. Um, and it's one of those things where I'm trying not to recap the episode. I'm trying to just give my thoughts on like characters and everything else. This is one of those things where I'm like, I like that we have all these. There's so much distinguishable differences between the characters already. I think Ishiro is one of the top ones because he's still like unsure. You can see he'll have a smirk every once in a while, and there's a whole scene which really tells everything. Is they're fighting the clock monster. Mira rides by on her bike and then realizes she's going the wrong way. So she passes a few times, and then, they thought she was going to jump in and help. And instead, she gives a thumbs up and rides off. And because they're trying to protect our police officer, who once again shows up for a third episode, I kind of like how he's kind of the comedic, bumbling idiot cop right now. I'm hoping when he does become Boone Black and later on the show, he kind of gets some growth and isn't that character through the whole show, but we don't really know much about him right now. And, when Mira rides off the bike, the clock monster follows her because she's moving and they're standing still. Taya, this whole entire time, thinks that she did this on purpose to be a distraction because she saw that they were trying to protect the cop and wanted to lure the monster away. Even though Ishiro's like, really, you think that's what happened? He's like, I don't trust her. Fast forward, they show up to get to the monster that really was actually following her, and it finds out she is interpreted as we'll take care of the monster. You need to finish this job that you took on. And I'm like, all right, all right. I like that because it's kind of like one of those moments where like, wait, Taya wasn't right about her in this situation, and Ishiro was correct. So I feel like they're still gonna butt heads on their opinions of her, but it's kind of cool that like she's she's at the forefront of this whole overall story of the team synergy, basically, and obviously we're gonna get this whole overall story of her character, of her proving herself, obviously, and I think that's gonna work. Another thing is I was really hopeful that we were gonna get like because when I saw the Boon Boon Classic at the beginning of the episode, I'm like, oh, is it gonna debut in this episode? I wonder what it's gonna do. I like that it was the sword that they use, and I was like, okay, this is really cool. The Robo monster fighting was good as always. I like that it wasn't such a quick. Okay, it shows up, hits a couple moves, and that's it. It did give us, like I said, the debut of the Boon Boom classic being the sword and some good visuals. The Robo has grown on me a lot, and I think that it's definitely like a lot of the stuff that I was wary of has I'm actually all okay. I'm okay with. Like the only two things I really had was like the Robo seemed kind of weird from like the leaks and the toys at first, but then also the helmets. But now both those I enjoy. I have no qualms with any of those now. I did like also that I feel like the cop now is towards at the end of the episode because obviously I spoil stuff, but I'm not doing a deep dive. One of the main things I really liked was at the end. Is it Akuse? Akuse, I don't know, I'm bad with names. The cop, he's got his bike that was cut in half by the clock monster. He's returning it he's going back to the station, and we see our mystery female who, when he's like questioning who are those tire head people, this and that, and she's like, they're the Boonboongers, and she even says, she has some information that she wants about them, so she's gonna question him, and it ends there. And I was like, oh, cool, nice little introduction to a mysterious character, and I'm hoping all this leads to like because we haven't been really given much information. We don't know where the power came from. We don't know, where Boon Boon, that's what I'm going to call him from now on, like how they crash landed on Earth, where Ty get all his money, all the stuff about the transportation. We have questions about Genbu now. I do anyways, and just how everyone met, and we didn't get all that origin stuff, like just thrown right in there. And I was like, okay, I'm okay with this. One of my favorite things, I like Easter eggs, and it was pointed out, and I noticed it because I have like a wall with like hubcaps and stuff, and like the wheel rims and stuff. And apparently there was 3 of them that had previous seasons like on them, so they had Go On with the debut date on it, and Car Ranger, and then Turbo Ranger. And I was like, that's pretty cool. I like that. I'm wondering if we're gonna get any like crossovers down the road. I don't really look into a lot of the stuff, honestly, like that's down the road, even with any toku stuff. And this was, a good episode. I really enjoyed it. I think there's a lot of good character in this. The humor getting thrown in. Everything else, I was like, this is really enjoyable. Like I said, the whole scene with the clock monster try to walk away, and Boon Red and Blue walking behind them, and then whenever they stopped to look back at them, they would stop moving, because anytime the clock monster said don't move, you would have to stop, or if you moved, you would be attacked. I really thought like little subtle humor like that always gets a chuckle out of me, and I enjoy it. But yeah, this was a great episode. I'm really I'm really curious going forward to see what else we're gonna get from a story standpoint. I don't look at previews or episodes that are coming up. I am though looking forward to more of my toys coming in. I did get the Boon Changer. I have a video up going over that because I also showed off the clear Boon trailer car and the sounds it made with that, which I got with the most recent magazine. But that's it for the video. Let me know. Are you watching Boonboomger? Are you enjoying it? What'd you think of this episode? I'm digging the monster designs. I'm digging all that stuff. So I'm really looking forward to what other monsters we can get down the road, and also more of the development of the characters and the synergy of the team being formed. But that's it for the video. I don't want a long one. I'm trying not to do long reviews. I want to, just talk about my thoughts instead. But I thank you guys for watching. Don't forget the subscribe button, like the video, and I will see you guys in the next video.